Hello again and welcome to another Nick Beck's Watch Reviews. Now in front of us here I have a brand new Citizen chronograph. Now before I start talking about the watch and give it my thoughts, let me just say thank you to all my existing subscribers, all my new subscribers, all the lovely comments I get. Keep giving me the thumbs up, keep subscribing, please. I've gone past 1,600 now, and I promise if I can get to 2,000, I will give do a small giveaway like other watch reviewers. So thanks again, everybody, and I really appreciate it. So moving on to the watch, like I say, this is a Citizen chronograph. It's the AT2480-81E. It's an EcoDrive caliber H500, which is solar powered. It's Citizen's Super Titanium. Now I'm told titanium is about 4 times harder than stainless steel, and with Citizen's coating on top of this, they tell me in the catalogue it's approximately 5 times harder than stainless steel. So it's less prone to scratches and knocks and what have you. Now apparently the metal oxidizes, so minor scratches are much harder to see, which actually makes the watch look better for longer. And I like that because I'm quite OCD about my watches, so it's really good for me. So this one also has a sapphire crystal. We have 100 meters of water resistance. The case thickness is 11 millimeters. The case diameter is 43 millimeters. Lug to lug is 50 millimeters, and the lug width is 22, going to, or tapering should I say, down to 20 millimeters. So without further ado, let me bring it up to the camera and show you around. Right, so the reason I went for this colour, it actually comes in black, blue and green. I really like my military style watches, and this is kind of like a chronograph pilot style watch. So as you can see, excuse me, I have a dark green dial and we have this kind of orange accents. And there is a bit of a sunburst effect on this dial, which I think is lovely. And in the sunlight, it really does catch. It's a lovely looking dial. And like I say, with the orange accents, it really pops, I think is the word they use. You have a 4 o'clock date wheel, and it's just the date, not a day date. And because it's white on black, it's fairly visible, and framed by white as well, so it kind of brings it out of the dial. You've got your 3 sub-dials, and as you can see with the orange second hand right at the bottom there, the 6 o'clock dial is your running seconds, and then you have the other 2 dials which are obviously your counters for the chronograph. You have a raised chapter ring, and it kind of folds very nicely into the watch. In some lights it actually does look black, but I can assure you it actually matches the green of the watch. And like I say, you can kind of see that sunburst effect on this one. The case, like I say, is all titanium or super titanium. You have fairly broadsword hour and minute hands, and you've got a very thin second hand in kind of like it looks white, but it looks almost in real life like a really pale kind of aluminium silver. Now the indices and the hands are filled with lume, and of course I will show you a lume shot. Now it's typical Citizen lume, it's very effective, and it does last a while. Obviously I know that a lot of watches, let's say more expensive watches, the lume lasts a lot better, but for a guy that's into affordable watches, let's say, I'm really very impressed with the lume. So just under the 12 o'clock triangle you have Citizen, again it's printed, and then just under the 9 you have EcoDrive Titanium. Now it has a stopwatch, so the top button starts the second hand, as you can see, and unlike Seiko's VK movements, they're what do they call them now? The Mecha Quartz. This one, stop again with the same button, and the hand will sweep back to the 12 o'clock, and everything lines up really well with this. And to be honest, I'm going to be sort of a bit candid here. I've gone over to Citizen lately because I'm so tired of Seiko with their misaligned hands, their misaligned chapter rings. Just a quality control, and it's such a shame because Seiko's got a great history, and I'm sure the founder of Seiko must be really, must be turning in his grave at the way they let their quality control down. It's such a wonderful company. I'm a big fan of Seiko. I love Seiko watches, but they really need to take a look at Citizen and even Casio and start to get these things right. Anyway, enough of my gripe. So we've got a fully brushed case and bracelet on this one in the titanium, and what it does, because it's titanium, it kind of gives it that gunmetal effect. Now everything's brushed with the exception of the top of the bezel, and the bezel is high polished, which kind of helps bring out that lovely green dial. Now moving to the side, as you can see, it's all brushed. We have your push-pull crown, and the crown, if it will actually go into focus there, is not signed, but that doesn't bother me, but it's nicely turned. It's a lovely feel on this crown. It does move, but I've got another Citizen pilot's watch, and it does exactly the same. It seems to be quite free. Now again, when I look at the tolerances of the bracelet and how it fits on this watch, it really does kind of shout at Seiko to say, hey, come on guys, get this right. So you've got a pin and collar for the pins there, for the adjusting the bracelet links, taking them out. Now I've taken a couple out of this and it seems to work really, really nicely. You've got a standard pressed titanium buckle, or what do they call it? Yes, it's a buckle, isn't it? But do you know what? I actually think it's quite nice because it kind of adds to the lightweight of this. Then you've got your clasp and Citizen printed on it. You've got your two pushers. This has only got one micro adjustment, which is a bit of a shame, and I think maybe Citizen could do a listen to Seiko here, but it works for me. I'm very lucky because it's a lightweight watch. It wears very, very nicely. You don't notice it's on, but every time you kind of catch sight of it, it really is a good looking, handsome watch. So you've got your screw down case back there with all your Citizen, sapphire, titanium, blah 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 blah. We've got solid end links on this one, which I think again is a really nice touch. It's a shame about the clasp. They could have gone the extra mile and maybe put a milled clasp, but I'm going to let him get away with this because this is actually not a terribly expensive watch. I mean, this was actually just under 200 on Amazon, and I really think that's good value. And that clasp, because it's titanium, because it's brushed and gunmetal sort of look, it really actually works. So they seem to have got away with it. It really is a beautiful watch. The brushing is exceptional. The bracelet is very, very comfortable, and obviously I've put up some wrist shots. Everything seems to be really nicely executed on this. And that dial, I think, is absolutely great. And if you can see it, you've got a kind of outer ring where the indices are that is almost, I suppose it's not fluted, it's the opposite, concentric circles, and then an inner ring inside with the subdials. Everything with the kind of the black caps to the little hands, like I say, the little orange accents, the very, very dark green subdials that almost look black in the right light. The chapter ring looks black, but it's in fact matching green. It really is a very, very well executed watch. I'm very, very impressed with it. I've been kind of shopping around for a while now for something that I can wear every day, something I can just throw on. This really, really ticks every box. It really is a super, super watch. For under £200, I really can't find any fault in it, to be honest. I'm sure, people that spend more money on watches will find, fault and tell me that this isn't as good as that, and you know, this one's better than this watch and what have you. But for me, for under £200, for somebody that wears, you know, a decent watch with a decent brand but doesn't want to spend a fortune, I really don't think you can beat this. It's a beautiful watch. I can't speak highly enough about it, and it's going to stay in my collection for a very long time. I doubt I will actually sort of flip this, as they say, and pass it on. So enough of my rambling. That's my new Citizen Eco Drive Super Titanium chronograph. Thanks for listening, everybody. Just one more thing. Of course, the watch is very lightweight. I forgot to say that. I think this one comes in at under 100 grams. Now, a watch on a bracelet in stainless steel, I would probably put it at least 140, probably, you know, north of 140 grams. This one is definitely under 100. So it really, really feels light, and it does feel exceptionally good quality. So hats off to Citizen on this one. Again, forgive my rambling. Thanks everybody for watching my videos, and I will see you again next time.